August 11th, 2025, Finance Committee meeting. Commissioner Slater, if you'll do the pledge, Commissioner Collins, if you'll listen and bless, if you would all please stand. Thank you very much. Going to our agenda, report from Mayor. Mayor, do you have anything? That's right. We just met the other day. Budget amendments was last week. Welcome, Commissioner Slater and everybody, the members. And we'll go straight to our agenda item. Building and Land Committee requests the funding for clearing, leveling, and paving of Menace Road Fire Facility property at an estimated $75,000. As you know, we sent this up to the full commission with a table motion. It did not pass, so it came back to finance for our consideration. So I'm just going to open up the floor for all members, mayor as well, on what course of action we want to take. Like I said in the full commission, hopefully everybody can hear me. Like I said, there's really only two places, and that's that we have 75,000 or whatever amount we come up with, and that would be the ARP money, the federal, which is dwindling, and 189. So, Commissioner Alford, Commissioner Collins, Commissioner Slater, Commissioner Mason, Mayor, what direction does the Finance Committee wish to go? Or do we have any questions or need any clarification before we send this back to the full commission?
So is it truly $75,000? Do we know that that's what it is, or do we know what it is?
That's a good question. Mayor, do you have how they came up with 75,000? Was it just a big old guesstimate, or did they have some actual people or vendors say? Because that is a good question.
Yes. It's approximately 75,000. The scope has changed 2 or 3 times, okay? The real hard estimate I had from a contractor was from corner to corner, and then they changed it to be 30 feet by 200 feet. And I have estimates from the city for that without the concreting, and taking the concreting from the contractor estimate and adding to it, and by the way, it's concreting, not paving. You come up to approximately 75,000. Like I explained to them last week, you don't know an exact price until you bid it, and you can't bid it until you have funding in place. So if you all approve a funding of approximately 75,000, then I'll get the exact before it goes forward, of course. But right now, it's an estimated 75,000.
And where would you recommend taking the money from?
It's hard to recommend when I didn't ask for it to start with. But like he said, and for the record, I don't think it's the wisest use of taxpayers' money, but not a hill I'm going to die on. I want to get this over with. If you're going to do it, like my Commissioner Blake said, you have some money left in ARP that you could do it with, and you have some money in 189 that you could do it with. That's the only 2 places.
And if I can add real quick, I would prefer ARP money. Because it's dwindling and it has a deadline. 189 doesn't. That's property tax versus federal. Just to clarify. Thank you.
So this request was not a part of the original plan for constructing the fire department on Menace Road, correct?
Correct. The original plan is for that bank, which has not been finished yet, to go straight back like it was behind the existing station. With the understanding that would give the radius for the turn. I know it was said in the news media that we were looking at doing this to give that radius, but the bank, once it's finished, is supposed to be the radius to turn into the building.
And this is 200 feet by 30, is that what you said?
The latest is their estimate from the Building and Land was 200 feet from the northern corner. In other words, behind the new project that's going on right now. It's approximately 200 feet long, and they estimate 30 feet back to the property line.
For now.
I'm happy to share and kind of reiterate from our previous meeting, what my viewpoint on it is. And that's, I spoke with leadership about it, and it's not a request that has come from leadership. Chief Stewart hasn't requested this, the mayor has not requested this, and I think that's an important facet to consider. I think that's important for us as a body to consider. I think their understanding is that the project, as is, will satisfy what they need in terms of turning radius, the trucks, and maybe there's an additional project down the road that this money could be used for. But that's where I stood. I know I said that last week, and I'll say that again, and that's kind of where I'm at in terms of my support for it. If Chief Stewart wants that, would like that support for that, I'm happy to talk with him about that. But that's just not the case here.
Yeah, thank you. Mayor, I mean, that's a good point. I mean, you've made it pretty clear. We're not putting words in your mouth that this is not your request. I think even to elaborate a little bit more is if we quote unquote had 50,000 or 75 or whatever, this is not where you would want to first spend that kind of money. I mean, is that accurate? I mean, I don't want to put words in your mouth.
That's accurate, and I'm not fighting against it. It's just that I know there's other things coming where we're going to need the money, and I think it would be wiser to keep the money for those projects when they come along. But again, it's your prerogative.
So here's my own Blake thinking. Is it a case, true or false, that if we don't do it now and then we get this building up, look, 5 years from now, in other words, if we don't do it now, we've lost our opportunity to do this? I think I heard you or somebody say that, yeah, it may cost 20% more or whatever in 5 years or whatever, but the building going up doesn't prohibit from clearing out the land at a later date or a future date. Because I guess to me is if we can't do it later, then it's better to go ahead and do it now. But if we can do it later, does that make sense? I mean, does the building prohibit us clearing this later on?
I don't think it prohibits it. It would make it harder and probably cost a little more because you're going to have a concrete slab there that you've got to get off of to work to bring it down, as opposed to right now, you don't have that.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? If you pour the concrete for the current project and stop, then you're going to be working off of that concrete to do the bank. That would make it harder and probably a little costlier.
So in other words, to avoid in the future coming back in 2025, we should have, could have, would have kind of situation, but it doesn't seem like that's the case. I mean, it can be done a little bit harder, but it can be done later. So, all right, Commissioner Alford, Commissioner Mason, I mean.
I just think we've toyed with this idea too long. I'm not agreeable with $75,000. If my thinking on it, if it costs more than 50, we need to drop it. And and we can't do anything until the mayor puts it out for bid. So with that, I'll make a motion that we just drop the whole situation.
We have a motion to basically send back to the full commission that there's no funding available. I mean,
Funding's available. I just don't think we need to use that funding right now. We'll put it that way, I guess.
that puts us in a little predicament in the sense that I mean, really, the full commission should be voting on whether or not we should do it or not. We've just been asked to, quote unquote, find the money, or, so the way I see it is we got three options. Either recommend using art money, using 189, or come back and say, we don't have funding. But to say we don't want to do the project, I think that's for the full commission to decide. Commissioner Slater, please.
Did the full commission previously vote to support this project?
I don't believe it came to the full commission on a full project. I think what happened was that Land and Building, Building and Land, had a meeting. I missed that meeting, and they went through their discussions and basically needed the funding package piece and sent that to us, to the finance. But I don't believe it's been to the full commission on a up or down on the project concept at all.
Mr. Chairman, I believe I think the route of it started with the fire meeting, I believe, and then it went to Building and Land, and now it's come to us. So it's kind of taken this circuitous route.
Yeah, and I agree with the mayor and committee. We need to end this one way or the other because you're holding up, what I understand, other stuff going on. And that's going to get costly and timely. So next week is a voting session, one way or the other. It needs to be the day, right? Is that right, Mayor? I'm not trying to put words in your mouth.
Yeah, you are holding up the other two projects. The contractor on the parking lot is waiting to see what we do before they move forward. The city is, of course, waiting to see if they're going to add to their project. So all of that's on hold.
All right, just on hold. I get it.
All you're doing is telling the commission that you don't have funding for the project. You're not voting the project up or down, but they've asked you to find the money. And if it's a negative thing you're doing, then you're saying we don't have money that we want to spend on that project.
Would it be fair to clean up the motion on the floor to say just to deny, the motion is to deny the request to fund the clearing, leveling, and paving of the Menace Road Fire Project, and to
Yeah,
keep
no,
it simple?
we do not have 75,000. I mean, they were asking for, wait, go ahead. Please, Adam.
Yep.
Deny the funding request. All right.
Yep.
Right, so what I'm after is finality. I mean, like, one way or the other, next week, finality. So that's what, so basically, you accept, you, we have a motion from Commissioner Alford
I'll second.
to, go ahead and restate
Not
your
fund
motion.
the project at this point in time.
Not fund the project at this point in time. And we have a second from Commissioner Collins.
I have a question.
Commissioner Slater, please.
So the motion that finance brought forth last week was to basically deny the funding, correct?
Yeah,
And that
tabled it.
you tabled it, and so the commission didn't like that decision, correct?
They didn't like tabling it, correct?
Okay.
Which didn't necessarily end the conversation, because we sent up a table, and we'll talk about that policy later. It came back, and that's why we're here today. With this motion, I believe an up or down ends the debate and gives the mayor, and I think it gives it the finality that Finance Committee couldn't come up with a funding package. Or couldn't or wouldn't, one of the two. Commissioner Mason?
Well, my thoughts on it is just what Mayor Davis, I trust Mayor Davis because he comes up with balanced budgets year after year after year, and we do have a lot of money promised already for the schools. We've got things to build on the schools also, too, that's been promised. So I just, I can't support it today either.
All right, so we have a motion and a second, and Lori, you got the motion down, because I'm gonna need it. Thank you. Any, go ahead, I'm sorry. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion to deny, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And opposed, say no. Looks like we have a 5-0, and I'll bring this to the full commission, and if you'll help me out with that, I appreciate it, Lori. Is there anything else? I do want to welcome Ms. Gleason here, our one and only. The floor is yours. For communication from the audience, and you got 45 minutes to say whatever you want. You can say whatever you want. I'll give you 10 minutes. But oh, come up to the mic. We want to hear all this. Come on. No, you're good.
It's your moment. Here we go.
There we
Come on.
go. When, especially that he's getting thanked. He wants to
I'm
hear
going to
it.
be nice today and not say anything
Oh.
negative. But I did have issues with my driveway, and I still have the issues with my driveway. But I thought it was very wonderful that Tim and Mike Hughes, were willing to come up and kind of give me some advice and direction. And still don't know what that's going to be. I'm going to be calling the road commission, Bobby, I guess is his name, and getting him to come out and give some more advice, and that doesn't break the bank, because it's all that torrential rain that we had
Mm.
this past summer has just made it really bad. So, but appreciations to the commissioners that were willing and took time out of their day to come and help me come up with some decisions of what we need to do. So thank you for all your hard work. And like I said, I don't have anything negative to say today. So we're all good.
We got you on recording. There you go.
Okay. Thanks.
All right, yeah, commissioner from the 6th district and a commissioner from the 1st district are helping somebody in the 4th district. That's pretty good. All right, if there's nothing else, then we are adjourned. Thank you so much. Oh, wait, hold on a second. Next meeting, September 2nd, 2025, 11:30 a.m. in the commission room. Now we are adjourned.